you can just tie a string. Blackboard கீழே ரெண்டு ஆணி அடிச்சிட்டு ஒரு பெரிய ஸ்ட்ரிங் கயர் மாதிரி கட்டில at the bottom of the board. குழந்தைங்களுடைய ஹைட்டுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி bottom of the blackboard you can tie a string in a horizontal way. You can tie a string in a horizontal way from this corner of the board to that corner of the board. Twine நூல் மாதிரி நீங்க கட்டிட்டு you can make small paper bags ma. You can make small paper bags and you can hang, if you have 30 students in a class, you can hang 30 small paper bags or paper pockets. நம்மளுடைய palm அளவுக்கு small paper bags மாதிரி செஞ்சு நீங்க அந்த ஸ்ட்ரிங்ல வரிசையா 30 paper bags நீங்க ஸ்ட்ரிங் பண்ணிடலாம் அந்த ஸ்ட்ரிங்ல அந்த கயிறுல. After that you have to paste the photograph of the child. அந்த ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு ஒரு பேப்பர் பேக். அந்த போட்டோகிராஃப் கலர் ஜெராக்ஸ் எடுத்து பாஸ்போர்ட் சைஸ் போட்டோகிராஃப் கலர் ஜெராக்ஸ் எடுத்து how to take a color xerox is only 10 rupees. You can paste all the real passport size photographs on a unruled sheet and if you give it for color xerox for 10 rupees ல உங்களுக்கு எல்லா குழந்தைகளுடைய கலர் ஜெராக்ஸ் போட்டோஸ் கிடைச்சிடும். You can cut that and paste it on the paper bag and you can write their names on the paper bag in legible bold letters. Outside the classroom or at the entrance of the classroom you need to keep a bowl with a stick puppet. That stick puppet can be as star, that stick puppet can be as a crown. ஒரு நல்ல crown மாதிரி gold paperல செஞ்சு ஒரு stick. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா you can make a silver star and you can paste a stick and you can keep 36 bowl at the entrance of the classroom. Then when the students come inside they have to take one star puppet and they have to put it inside the paper bag where their photo is stuck. Okay, photo identification is very easy. They know themselves very well. For LKG you can have this and that symbol you can have for UKG and for first standard and second standard you can have only the names of the students. This activity. So all the students should come with one star stick puppet. You have to see in the 30 bags which is where that photo is pasted and they have to insert the stick puppet into the paper bag. To see the remaining paper bag photograph will show you the absentee. Okay, and the puppet which is inserted into the paper bag will be the number of students those who are present. So the paper bag should be in the size of our palm and the puppet should be popped out of the paper bag. The puppet should be popped out of the paper bag. This is also one good activity. So you can do these activities according to the grade of the students, grade 1, grade 2, lower kindergarten, upper kindergarten. Then one more activity for reading enhancement, decoding. Activity. What is decoding?
The phonic sound of the word.
The phonic sound of the word is called as decoding. That is listening to the phonic sound and understanding and finding the letter is called as decoding. மறைமுகமா புரிஞ்சிக்கிறது தான் decoding. Hidden, something is hidden and we are finding out. So we are finding out the alphabet through a sound is called as decoding. What is syllabification? What is syllabification?
Single letter pronunciation.
Two letter
pronunciation.
Enthusiasm. You can split syllabi and you can learn. Enthusiasm. Splitting and learning is called as syllabification. Splitting it into syllabi. Then next, after that, what activity?
Awareness.
Phonic awareness.
Phonic awareness.
Phonic
awareness. Coding. So that children are increasing their reading enhancement. After that,
Sight words.
Okay. After that,
Fishing game.
Games.
How you will do the fishing game?
ஃபிஷிங் ராடும் கொடுத்து ஒரு பவுல் நிறைய அந்த கார்ட்போர்டு வேர்ட்ஸை வந்து போட்டுட்டு அதை அவங்க மிக்ஸ் பண்ண சொல்லணும்.
Very good.
Fish ல name எழுதி
Yes,
அந்த
very
fishing
good.
rod வச்சு எடுக்க வைக்கணும்.
Very good. Next.
Bingo game.
Bingo game.
Bingo. How you will do the bingo game?
பேராகிராஃப்ல ஒரு 15 சென்டென்ஸ் இருக்க மாதிரி ரைட் பண்ணிட்டு இந்த வேர்ட்ஸை வந்து
read பண்ணணும்.
As soon as
சர்க்கிள் பண்ண சொல்லணும்.
very good, Arul Shelvi. Next.
விஷுவல் ரீடிங் விஷுவல் ரீடிங்.
What is visual reading?
பிக்சரை காட்டிட்டு அந்த பிக்சருக்குள்ள நேம் வந்து அவனை சொல்ல வைக்கணும்.
Okay. Next.
ரைட்டிங் அண்ட் லிசனிங்.
Story.
Do you all remember that story game what I played with you?
Yes ma'am.
All of you enjoyed, no? You can
ஒரு
write
story
it.
நம்ம சொல்லணும்.
அதுல இருக்கிற things எல்லாத்தையும் அந்த குழந்தைங்க கொண்டு வந்து தரணும்.
ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸை எடுத்துட்டு வர சொல்லணும்.
First and second, instead of keeping things, you can keep words. Okay. First and second standard teachers should keep words. The story is told. Words you have kept, they have to pick up those words, bring it and give it to you. In this important thing is you have to write a story of your own. That is very important. You have to write a story of your own before the school reopens. I want all the teachers to write at least 5 to 6 stories to do this activity. Will you all write?
Yes ma'am.
Yes. After that, any other activity?
Building up sentence.
How you will do that?
Through newspaper.
Newspaper, they have to build a sentence of their own, and they have to remember the sentence of their peer, and they have to build up the sentence, and at last, the last child should say nearly 26 sentences. And that child should be appreciated through the appreciation board and by giving small gifts. After that, one more activity.
Start and end game.
It's also very good. Teachers also can play the start and end game, the
Yes, ma'am.
sentence formation game on Saturdays. That is when you do the micro teaching practice, you can bring all these games into your micro teaching. Either in micro teaching, you can bring the multiple intelligence, or you can bring the corners, or you can bring the reading enhancement activities into the micro teaching. So for micro teaching, when you write your micro teaching lesson plan, it is your wish. You can put any activity into the micro teaching lesson plan. Either it can be a reading enhancement activity, or it can be a corner activity, reading corner, musical corner activity, or it can be a musical intelligence, visual intelligence, like that. I will leave it to your choice. Okay, ma?
Okay ma'am.
Okay, now one teacher has asked me a lesson plan for science, social and all. Today, first we can just have a fast go through the micro teaching lesson plan on the science. Okay, ma? Now, recapitulation. When you write the lesson plan, first heading I want you to write is recapitulation. You have to do it for 5 minutes as I did now. After that, aim or objective. So before that, you have to write the subject. Subject is science. Topic, subject is science. Then lesson name is living things or non-living things. Topic you are going to cover in living things and non-living things are characteristics of living things and non-living things. After that, the first side heading is aim or objective. Aim or objective, making the students to learn about living things and non-living things. Aim or objective is making the students to learn about living or non-living things. Your main objective is you are going to make all the students in the class to understand what is a living thing, what is a non-living thing, what are their characteristics, and how you are going to make them to understand through games and lots of activities. Then what are the different types of teaching aids? Teaching aids is the next side heading for a micro teaching lesson plan. Flashcards, real models, then real objects, models, taking the students for nature walk, And also, if possible, we can take the students for study trips for teaching living things and non-living things. These are the different types of teaching aids we are going to use. After that, motivation. You have to put n number of questions before starting a topic. You have to mesmerize the students to come into the topic where their concentration and understanding power will be more. So what type of questions you can put? Immediately you cannot ask the students what is a living thing, what is a non-living thing, because many maximum 2 or 3 kids will be knowing the answer what is a living thing or non-living thing. First you have to just tell them what is a living thing and non-living thing, and after that you can put some questions. Will you all move from one place to another? Do you all breathe? Do you all eat food? Do you all play? Do you all speak? Do you all fight? These are the characteristics of living things. Then what do non-living things do? The non-living things are motionless. They will not take food. They will not breathe. They will not have life. These are non-living things. So you have to put as questions and you have to motivate the students for living things and non-living things to come into the lesson. After that comes the main part of the micro teaching, the explanation. How we are going to do the explanation for the students for living things and non-living things concept through micro teaching. First thing, as you all love to have flashcards in the class, you can show the flashcards of not only the objects of living things and non-living things. When flashcards are prepared to teach this particular concept, there should be the objects of non-living things on the flashcard with their characteristics, which is very, very important. So even for living things, you can show the object as well as the characteristics. If you're going to show the flashcard of a man, you have to write his characteristics, why he is called as living thing. If you're going to show a tree, if you're going to show a plant, you have to name it as plant and you have to write at least 4 to 5 characteristics in bold letters in the flashcard, and you have to show to the students and explain to them. See to it before conducting the game or an activity for a living thing or a non-living thing, you should see to it that the students have understood the concept very clearly. What is living thing? What is non-living thing? What is the difference between them? And what are the main characteristics of living things and non-living things? If your explanation and if your motivation is not going to be clear, the students cannot do the activity independently and they cannot play the game. Everything will be end up in a mess if your explanation is not going to be clear and if your explanation is not going to have valuable points about living things and non-living things. If you're going to take the lesson from the book, don't stick on to the points where it is printed, the characteristics of living things and non-living things is printed. You have to simplify the sentence and you have to give n number of characteristics for both for the child to understand. After that, what activity you can give inside the classroom before taking them for movement and cognition. You can split up the class into boys and girls and you can give them, you can ask them to enact 10 characteristics. If boys are going to be the living things, they have to enact 10 characteristics of living things. What all they can do? One child can sing, one child can dance, one child can breathe and show, one child can do yoga, one child can eat, one child can run and show. So all these characteristics, you can make a dramatization. The students can make a dramatization. In the same way, the girls can do the characterization of a non-living thing. Maximum what you can show the furnitures in the class means they can do like dumb charades. They can show in action the table, the chair, the sofa, the television. They can do actions and show, and these are the non-living things. They are motionless. They are used by human beings only. Like that, they can show the characteristics. So you can make the students to enact. This will give more understanding about the living things and non-living things. After that, you're going to introduce the activity for movement and cognition into this concept. Keep lot of pictures of living things and non-living things inside a big circle. Let the student blow a whistle. Let the students run, pick up the pictures and put it in a bowl named as living things and non-living things. So you have to first draw a line, keep two buckets or a big bowl, and you can name that as one bucket as living thing and one bucket as non-living thing items, living thing items. The students have, when you blow the whistle, 5 students have to run. They have to pick up all the picturized or named flashcards. If it is going to be first and second, only the name will be more than enough, more than picturization. If it is going to be kindergarten, you can just picturize the living things and non-living things through small flashcards and put it in a circle. The students have to go pick up lump sum of flashcards and come and put it into the bucket correctly where the living thing bucket is there and non-living thing bucket is there. This is a good movement and cognitive activity where the children develop the reading skill, identification skill, searching skill, sorting living thing and non-living thing into separate buckets, and a good gross motor as well as fine motor skill. So this is just an idea. I've made it, but you can make n number of movement and cognition games. Then after that, a reading corner. How you can bring reading for living things and non-living things. Draw the pictures of flowers, plants, trees, human being in a colored chart. Tear it into 4 pieces. If you're going to draw a flower, a lotus, into a small square chart, I color it, tear it into 4 pieces or 5 pieces according to the age of the child and put it in the reading corner. The child has to sit and assemble the puzzle. It is like a puzzle activity. The 4 parts or the 5 parts of the lotus should be arranged and it should be made as a full flower. So this the child will sit and do quietly without troubling you teachers in the reading corner. And after making it, the child will say the picture that it is a flower, it is a plant, it is a living thing, it is a table, it is a non-living thing. So this split up of, you're going to draw a picture and you're going to make it into 5 parts. You're going to cut it into 5 parts or 7 parts or 8 parts also, depends upon the age of the child. If the child is 6 years or 7 years old, you can tear the picture into 10 bits and keep. The child will be able to sit, concentrate and assemble it as a puzzle. It is a very small activity where teachers can make. If you want to make it as a permanent activity, you can draw on the chart, you can cut the chart, paste it on a cardboard, so it will be very thick and durable. You can paint it neatly and you can cut it as small pieces and keep it in a box. So when you keep lot of puzzles like this, and when you want to do some writing activity, you can give the students all these puzzles. They'll be sitting and arranging. The amount we spend also will be very less. And when you prepare all these teaching aids, one teacher can prepare 5 living things, one teacher can prepare 5 non-living things, one teacher can prepare flashcards, and you can exchange this among the sections. It's not that a teacher should prepare all the teaching aids only for her class. That will be more time consumption. You should not waste the time like that. When a teacher is going to prepare the teaching aids for living things and non-living things, the other teacher should prepare for water concept. The other teacher should prepare for air, teaching air concept. Like that, you have to divide among the teachers. You have to store all these teaching aids in a shelf by naming it, so that even if you are absent for a week, the teacher who comes for substitution should be able to conduct all these activities by using the teaching aid. And all the teaching aid, you should always remember, it should be thick and durable. So it can be used even for the next year, and for the coming academic year, you can start preparing more teaching aids. So reading corner, you can use puzzles made by your own, and you can make them to rearrange the puzzles, and after that they can name the pictures. It becomes a reading. Then one more activity, you can play Jam Charades game. You can show the picture, let the child enact and find it. If you're going to show the picture of a chair, the child should sit like a chair, and he has to make his friends and peers to identify what picture is that. The picture of a ball, the picture of a scooter, the picture of a car, then how the plant will be. The child should enact and show somehow the plant, the human being, and this can be found out by the peer. So this also a game for identification of living things and non-living things. Then you can use a fine motor corner for this concept. You can write letters on the pegs. இந்த துணி குத்துற கிளிப்பே நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா உட்ல இருக்கும்மா, அந்த உட்ல இருக்கிற அந்த துணி குத்துற பெக்ஸ் அதை வாங்கிட்டு you can write the alphabet on that. You can write with a thick marker. You can write P on one peg, L on one peg, A, N, T, like that. Plant. Then table, chair, ball, car, like that. You can write lot of alphabets on these pegs. You can put lot of pegs inside a bowl and you can keep the picture flashcards on the table. So if the child is going to take the plant flashcard, the child should search for the letters in the peg and the child has to take the peg and pin it on the plant. When it pins on the plant, she has to search P, where is P, L, A, N, T. She has to search those alphabets from that bowl and she has to pin it on the plant flashcard. Through this, a very good fine motor enhancement will be done in her fingers, where she's going to press and she's going to pin it on the plant. She identifies the plant through a picture. She identifies the spelling of the plant through searching as well as through alphabet, and she has made her own spellings by picking up the pegs instead of writing. So this also children will enjoy. And one more activity for this is you can give, as I told you earlier, this activity, you can pluck lot of leaves, keep it in a bowl. You can give them small twigs and you can ask them to pin these leaves into that small twig, like building what they do in the hotels, in Udupi hotels, in a thin iron bar, they will pin all the bills. Like that, the students can insert all the leaves inside that twig. This is one activity. Then you can do a threading activity. You can collect all the leaves. You can tie the twig to a thread and you can make the students, you can teach the students to make a leaf garland. So children will be enjoying all this. When they do this garland activity, the child has to pronounce that leaf comes from the plant is a living thing. Like that, they have to memorize all these while doing these activities, and all these activities will enhance the eye-hand coordination, a good concentration improvement, and good finger coordination. All these things are available in your school. Nothing is need to be prepared. You have to just ask your babysitters to go collect the plants and tree leaves and come. And next comes, so for this in explanation, what you have done, first you have explained about the characteristics of the living things and non-living things to the students through flashcards. Then you split up the students into two sets and you made them to dramatize all the minimum 10 characteristics of living thing and non-living things. Then you brought movement and cognition into this by making the students to pick up the living things and non-living things and put it into separate buckets. Then you made a reading corner by making puzzles. Then after that, you played a dumb charades game for the students to enjoy. Then you used the fine motor corner activity by giving them peg activity as well as building and garland activities. Then comes the assignment, where you're going to write the dictation words, fill up puzzles, coloring, question answers in classwork, and you're going to give homework for the students, and you can give worksheets. All these comes under assignment. Then comes evaluation part or recapitulation. For this, you can have rapid fire round in quiz and conduct quiz programs. Then you can tie the students' eyes. You can keep small living objects and non-living objects, and you can ask them to touch, feel, and identify the objects and tell you. All this you can have for evaluation part. Then you can give a stick puppet of a flower or a fruit or a tree or a man as a puppet for this concept. Then you can teach them two new words like environment and motion. So what is motion? Moving from one place to another place is called motion. Environment, taking the students outside and making them to understand the environment and what are the living things and non-living things present in the environment. Like that, you can explain the two new words for the students and you can give a couple of sentences for this. So this is the way to write the micro teaching plan for living things and non-living things for science. So you asked for social. For social, I will tell you in the next class. And today's topic we are going to learn about is phonics, which is very, very important, which is followed in all schools at present, which is in current trend now. So why we all did not learn phonics in our school days, but we are able to read, we are able to write, we are able to memorize, and we are able to do all the activities. But why we should suddenly introduce a methodology of reading through sounds known as phonics? Why is the question. Only one thing. Nowadays, the students are very curious, very competitive, very inquisitive. They have got the ability to learn lot of things at the level of kindergarten itself. And the media, the gadgets, everything has given them are giving them a lot of information to equip themselves. So this phonics is a methodology where the children can learn and read the words and write the spellings without any strain, only through sounds. And the children will be able to write big, big spellings like encyclopedia, environment, enthusiasm, everything if they are thorough with phonics. So phonics has become very important, and I'm sure that a child who's able to read the sentences, words through phonics will not make a spelling error at all. But what we are doing as teachers, even we still make lot of spelling errors. Still, as teachers, I know very well in all schools, teachers have difficulty in making spellings. Without the textbook, without Google, we cannot make all the spellings because as teachers, we are itself are not thorough with the sounds. So this phoneme helps the students to make the spelling correctly and they never make an error at all. Now let's see what is phonics. Phonics is learning the alphabets, all the 26 alphabets through sounds. This was discovered or invented or formulated by John Hart in 1570. And this phonics is a study of sound, a method of teaching and reading alphabets. You know how many sounds are there totally? There are 26 alphabets, but there are 44 sounds. As teachers, you need to be very thorough with all these 44 sounds. For 26 alphabets, how can we have 44 sounds? I will teach you further when we go into the depth. So, main thing in phonemes. What is phonemes? Phonemes are sound. Phonemes are called as sound of the alphabet. Graphemes are called as letters. So you're going to make a sound for all the letters is called as phonics. And digraphs and trigraphs are very important aspect in this phonics. Di means two. Digraphs means two letters make one sound. Two letters put together make one sound is called as digraphs. Three letters making one sound is called as trigraphs. Three letters making one sound is called as trigraphs. All these were basically done by only by the English teachers, English professors on those days in ancient period. But now in the form of phonics and in the form of jolly phonics, now the phonics has reached even the kindergarten level. But usually I never go with jolly phonics because jolly phonics are done with the action where in the level of kindergarten, children enjoy doing those actions. But when they grow up, they cannot stick with this jolly phonics methodology and they can just pronounce the letters, words only through sounds. So we can go with general phonics instead of jolly phonics. I will just give you a glance also of jolly phonics. Jolly phonics can be done only when I have a workshop to you in person. Okay, teachers. Now, what are the important methods to teach phonics for children? I have 6 methodology to teach phonics for the children. I cannot even say that it is 6 methodology. It is 6 steps where phonics can be taught for the students. So phonics, what are the 6 steps? We need to teach the letter sounds. the sounds of all 26 letters should be completely taught for the students, and they should be drilled with this sound. This is the first step. So the first step is we need to teach the letter sounds, the sounds of all 26 letters. Next, blending of vowel and consonant to read the whole world. After the students are thorough with the 26 sounds, you have to teach the students to blend the sounds to read the words. You have to blend the sounds of consonants and vowels, or two consonants with the vowel, or two vowels with the consonant. Like that, you have to blend the words and teach the students. That is the second step in phonics. The third step is we need to teach digraphs. As I told you earlier, what is digraph? Two letters put together to make a single sound. Two letters put together to make a single sound is called as digraph. After the students learn to blend the sound, you have to teach them the digraph. After teaching digraph, you can go to the next step, step 4, where you can teach the students to learn the sound of trigraphs. Three letters put together make a sound. It is called as trigraphs. Tri means three. So that you can remember, you have to teach the trigraph. After that, you can teach the graphemes. Graphemes is letters, letter identification, and scripting the graphemes, writing letters. When you say the sound, the child should be able to write the letter. So to teach the 26 sounds, the child is not going to write, he's going to just identify the letters. When you're going to teach the vowel and consonant, again the child is not going to write, the child is going to only identify the letters. So when you teach the digraph, when you teach the trigraph, everything, the children are only going to identify the letters. When it comes to graph and print, the children are going to start writing the letters by hearing to the sound whatever you say. Then at last, step number 6 comes fluency and accuracy. When all these 5 steps are completed by the teachers for a student, automatically the students will have a good fluency and accuracy in pronunciation. So for this, what is the main thing is the teacher should be very much thorough enough, and you have to drill yourself into phonics. Your pronunciation should be very clear and correct, that it should reach the student. So you have to drill yourself, and at the same time, you have to drill the students also with this. Don't be in a hurry to go to the next step unless all the 30 kids have completed the first step. So the first step, that is the 20 sounds of the 26 letters, blending of sounds, digraphs and trigraphs, everything should be completed in lower kindergarten itself. And when they come to upper kindergarten, they should print the letters. They have to start writing the letters, listening to the sound. And when they come to class 1, you will not believe the student will be able to write all the spellings only by listening to the sounds. If you're going to say write the spelling for encyclopedia, through the sounds the child will be able to write the whole spelling without reading the spelling once, even from the textbook or from the adults. And the spelling is going to be accurate. So the teachers need to have a very good practice of phonics on every Saturday, at least for 1 hour, or else it will become very difficult. Next, what I told, the letter sound. So first I want you all to know the sound of all the 26 alphabet. We show the alphabet, we should show the alphabet and teach the sound for the children. And the children should be thorough with all the 26 alphabets. Initially, you have to teach particularly the sound of 6 particular letters, which is very important. Then you can go according to the sequence of the letters also, as A, B, C, D, E. What is that 26? What is the 6 alphabet? Main alphabet is S, A, T, P, I, N. These 6 alphabet are very important. As soon as the student comes in the month of June to the school, before June 15th, the student should be thorough of these 6 sounds, because these 6 sounds form the major blending of 3-letter words like sat, pat, tin, pin, pat, sap. By learning the 6 letters, the students will be thorough of blending of nearly 53-letter words. So, you teach all the sounds of these 6 letters first. S, A, T, P, I, N. Now, before going to the second step, that is blending, I want you all to have a revision of the sounds of all the 26 letters. So, first we will see into the sound of the vowels. A, E, I, O, U. What is the sound of A? A sounds as an apple. A sounds as an apple. E sounds as an egg. E sounds as an egg. I sounds as E as an ink. I sounds as E as an ink. O sounds as an orange. O sounds as an orange. U sounds as an umbrella. U sounds as an umbrella. B sounds as an bat. B sounds as in bat. C sounds as in cat. C sounds as in cat. D sounds as in dog. D sounds as in dog. F sounds as in fan. F sounds as in fan. G sounds as in goat. G sounds as in goat. H sounds as in hat. H sounds as in hat. Is H. J sounds as in jug. J sounds as in jug. P sounds as in pen. P sounds as in pen. Q sounds as in queen. Q sounds as in queen. R sounds as in rat. R sounds as in rat. S sounds as in sun. S sounds as in sun. T sounds as in table. T sounds as in table. V sounds as in van. V sounds as in van. W sounds as in watch. W sounds as in watch. X sounds as in Xmas tree. X sounds as in Xmas tree. Y sounds as in yak. Y sounds as in yak. Z sounds as in zip. Z sounds as in zip. Dear teachers, why I have just told you the sounds of all 26 letters once again is, when you Google or when you go into YouTube and when you learn, you will find that there is a little bit of sound differentiation for our pronunciation and for the pronunciation made by the abroad teachers. So the pronunciation and sound and the style and accent will differ from us to the abroad teachers. So don't get confused by watching the Google. If you want to just Google and see the sounds once again, just Google and learn from the Indian teachers. There are a lot of videos regarding this phonics made by Indian teachers. You can go to that and you can have a revision if you need. And also, I've got some CDs made by our own Indian teacher voice. I got that from Singapore. I will just mail the voice as well as it is a picturized CD. It will be very useful and where you can understand the sound very easily. It will be very clear without any foreign accent. You can also put that CD for your students or you can copy it in the pen drive and you can put it if you have a TV in your classroom and you can make the students to revise, which will be very easy for you. Next comes blending. The second step to teach phonics is blending. What is blending? Combining two to three letters together and reading a three-letter word or a four-letter word is called as blending. Children are taught how to blend individual sounds together. They start with CVC such as set, pan, tap. Okay, what is CVC? Consonant, vowel, consonant is called as CVC. Consonant, vowel, consonant is called as CVC. Then then they are taught to blend CCVC sounds and CVCC sounds. So all these comes for four-letter words. When you go to three-letter words, it will be CVC words, consonant, vowel and consonant. When you go for four-letter words, it may be either consonant, consonant, vowel and consonant or consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. So, for example, if you take CCVC, you can say stop, plan. These words are CCVC. You can write n number of words in this. Then, if you're going to say CVCC, you can say milk, past. All these are CVCC. So, for first standard and second standard, when you teach consonants and vowels, you can give this as an activity. You can make a big box, a cardboard box. In that you can make two holes. One hole you can put C, one hole you can put the label as V. Near one hole put it as V and near one hole put it as C. Put lot of alphabets, small alphabets or small flashcards containing alphabets and ask the students to identify which is a consonant, which is a vowel, and they have to put the alphabets into those holes. And with this, you can also ask the students to you can give a word saying milk, and you have to ask the students to take and write separately. What is M, consonant or vowel? What is I? What is L? What is K? Like that. So when you do this activity continuously, the students will be very thorough about consonants and vowels. So how a blending will be done? First for three-letter words. I'll give you a few examples. Just a revision. Already we have done all this, I think, but not to this depth we have done. You all just learned the 26 sounds alone. At that time, I didn't teach you what is a digraph and trigraph and what are the 44 sounds. I just taught you the 26 letter sounds and three-letter blending words alone. But this time we are going into the depth and we are going to understand the phonics. For example, now we are going to read the A words. A-N-T, ant. This is the way we have learned. But when you're going to teach this through phonics for the students, you're going to read it as a, n, and t, ant. A, n, and t, ant. R, a, rat, rat. R, a, rat, rat. There are two different ways to learn these three-letter words. One is a, n, t, ant. That is telling the separate sounds of all the three letters and then making the word. The other thing is telling the sound of the first letter, telling the sound of the second letter, blending the first and second, and then telling the sound of the third letter. So when the blending is done for the first two letters, it will be more easy for the students when they go to very big letter formation and very big words. So we can first always blend the first letter and the second letter, and then we can add the third letter. Always remember, blend the first letter and the second letter, pronounce, and then blend the third letter. A, n, t, ant. Instead of that, you can say it as a, n, and t. R, a, rat, fat. F, a, fat, fat. F, a, fat, cat. K, a, cat, van. V, a, va, van. Man. M, a, ma, man. Can. K, a, ca, can. Fan. A, fa, fan. Pan. P, a, pa, pan. So these are the A letter blending 3-letter words. Then coming to E words. Hen. He, hen. Fen. Fe, fen. Ten. Ten. Den. Den. Pen. Pen. Beg. Beg. Peg. Peg. Next, I words. We are going to blend the I words. Bin. Bin. Pin. Pin. Tin. Tin. Dip. Dip. Hip. Hip. Sip. Sip. Then O letter words. O sounds as O. So dog. 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 Log. Log. Jog. Jog. Pot. 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 Dot. Dot. Hot. Hot. Then U words. U sounds as A, as in umbrella. U sounds as A, as in umbrella. Sun. Sun. Bun. Bun. Run. Run. Jug. Jug. Mug. Mug. Rug. Rug. Next comes the consonant B. How to pronounce the consonant B? Now the word ball. 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 Bag. The consonant C. How to pronounce this? Car. Car. Then can. Can. The consonant D. D sounds as D, as in dog. How to pronounce dog? How to pronounce the word doll? Doll. Dip. Dip. The consonant F. F sounds as if, as in fan. How to pronounce fan? Fan. Fit. Fit. Next, the sound of the consonant G. G sounds as G, as in goat. So, how to pronounce gas? Gas. Got. The sound of the consonant H. H sounds as in horse. Hat. H-A-T, hat is pronounced as ha, a, ha, t, hat. Ham, a, ha, ham. Hop, o, hop, hop. J sounds as j, as in jug. Jam, j, a, ja, jam. Jug, j, g, jug. The sound of consonant P sounds as p, as in pan. Pig, p, pig. Pat, pat, pat. Now the sound of the consonant Q. The sound of the consonant Q is qua. How it is blended? Queen, qua, e, queen, qua, e, queen. Quilt, qua, a, quilt. Next, the sound of the consonant R. R sounds as as in rose. Rat, at, rat, rat. Rose, rose. The sound of the consonant S. S sounds as is, as in sun. How sun is blended and pronounced? Sun. Sat is sat. The consonant sound of T. T sounds as as in tap. Tap, tap, tap. Top, or top. The sound of the consonant V. V sounds as in van. Van, van. Wet, wet. The sound of W. W sounds as as in watch. So, how to pronounce web? Web. Win. Win. The sound of X. The sound is X for the consonant X. So, fox. How you will pronounce fox? Ox, fox. Six. The sound of the consonant Y. Y sounds as ya, as in yak. Yak. Then yes. S. So these is it. The consonant is it sounds as in zoo. So zip is zip. Zoo, zoo. Double O when it comes, it's a long vowel sound. I'll teach you all that in depth. Now we had a simple revision about the 26 letters and the sounds of the vowels are taught to you initially, and the sounds of consonants are taught to you and revised and discussed in a simple form. After that, the blending for 3 letters has been just revised. So when you have a doubt, you can just hear to all these sounds, and you can also watch CDs, and you can also watch the videos put up in Google for your extra information and for your guidance. So all this is called blending. Now we have completed 2 steps. First is the sounds of the 26 alphabets. Now we have learnt what is blending. Now the next step is digraphs. I told you what is digraphs. Digraphs is 2 letters, 1 sound. Digraphs means 2 letters put together makes 1 sound. Common digraphs we use is CH, CH, SH, SH, TH, TH, WH, WH. These are the very common digraphs often we use in 4-letter words and 3-letter words. Once children are taught the individual letter sounds, that is the sounds of the 26 letters, they need to be taught with consonant digraphs. That is, in digraphs itself, we have vowel digraphs and consonant digraphs. So digraphs, what we have in digraphs, one is consonant digraphs and vowel digraphs. If you take consonant digraphs, it is CH, SH, NG, and vowel digraphs EA, OO, AI. These are all vowel digraphs. There are some tricky words. Always you should remember these tricky words. It's not that all the words come into the phonic rules and we can pronounce through pronounce through phonics. There are some words which we call it as tricky words. They will not come under the phonic rules, and these words has to be memorized by the students like sight words, and they have to be done only through rote method and only through continuous observation. Small such words, for examples I can give you is he, she, was, ice, all, they. These all are small tricky words that does not obey the phonic rules. Now, in digraphs, there are two types of digraphs. This is too much of English where only the English teachers know. I want you to just understand. Don't take it too much into depth and don't feel that it is too difficult and it is too complicated. Okay, teachers, just if you know, it will be a little bit easier. It is an additional information I am giving you about the digraphs. So, in digraphs, there are two types of digraphs. One is heterogeneous digraphs and homogeneous digraphs. Heterogeneous digraphs are made up of two different letters, that is CH, SH, CK, all that. Homogeneous digraphs are made up of two of the same letters, SS, OO, like that. When two letters come together, same letter, OO, we call it as OO, isn't it? SS, like that, it is called as homogeneous digraphs. Okay, now there are different types of different digraph letters which makes a single sound. For example, BL, BR, CH, CL, CR, DR, FL, FR, GL, GR, PL, PR, and more are there. All these are called as digraphs. And what type of digraphs are these? Heterogeneous digraphs where two different letters making one sound. So BL, how it sounds? Blur. BR, how it sounds? Br. CH, how it sounds? Ch. CL, cl. CR, cr. DR, dr. FL, fl. FR, fr. GL, gl. GR, gr. PL, pl. PR, pr. So these are called digraphs. Now, what are the verbs you can say for these sounds? BL, blab, black. BR, brace, break. CH, church, chair. CL, clad, claim. CR, crab, crack. DR, drab, draft. FL, flab, flag. FR, frog, fresh. GL, glad, glass. GR, grab, grace. PL, plate, plain. PR, proud, pray. All these are called as digraphs, words beginning with digraphs, words beginning with digraphs. This is not the end of the digraphs. Still more and more are there. I will send a PDF for you, or I will send a video for you where you can have your continuous practice. Then when it comes to trigraphs, the different trigraphs are 3 letters, which gives a single sound. SCH, SCR, SHR, SPL, SPR, SQU, STE, THR. So SCH is SCU, SCR is SCR, SHR is sphere, SPL is SPLR, SPR is SPR. Like that, you have to pronounce the trigraphs. 3 letters form to give a single sound. For SCH, you can have school, scheme, SCR, cram, scrap, SHR, sphere, SPL, splash, SPR, sprain. Like that, you can have different types of words starting with trigraphs. So now you all have a idea about what is digraph, what is trigraph, and children also should be taught the digraphs and trigraphs. But when you
Hello, madam. We are not able to hear you. Madam.
teach the sounds of the alphabet. For your better understanding, I am explaining all this to you. When you teach them, just teach the vowel. What is a vowel? What are the different types of vowel? What is a consonant? What are the different types of consonant? What are the 26 sounds of an alphabet? How to blend the consonant with the vowel? What are 3-letter, how to do the 3-letter word blending? How to do the 4-letter word blending and 5-letter word blending? That's all you have to teach, and you have to teach them all the 2-letter words, 3-letter words. Trigraph and digraph starting words you have to teach them, but no need to mention about the digraph, trigraph to the students. So I told you already how many types of sounds are there. There are nearly 44 sounds. You all know only 26 letters. For 26 letters, we have 44 types of sounds. So to learn the words, to read the words thoroughly without making an error, a teacher as well as a student should be very thorough with these 44 types of sounds. How can 26 letters have 44 sounds? This is a very important question. So 44 sounds. What are the 44 sounds? 19 comes the vowel sound, 18 comes the consonant sound. There are 19 vowel sounds and 18 consonant sounds. In 19 vowel sounds, 5 are short vowel sound, A, E, I, O, U. You all know that very well, and you all know the sound also. And 6 comes the long vowel sound. I have just taught you the short vowel sound, and 6 comes as long vowel sound. In that long vowel sound, 3 are diphthongs and 2 are U sounds. And 3 are R-controlled sounds, and 25 are consonant sounds. When you add up all this, you will get the 44 sounds. So to complete this, for each thing, I need one day to complete the vowel sound and make you thorough of these vowel sounds. 5 short vowel sound, I exclusively need 1 slot. 6 long vowel sound, I need 1 slot. Like that, we have to go. What is diphthongs? To teach that, I have to take one separate class. So then only you can remember. Teaching everything in one session is easy for me, but totally you will be confused. So at present, today I want you all to revise all the sounds of the 26 letters, blending of consonant with vowel, and blending of 3-letter words and 4-letter words. And you have to be thorough and make lot of words which starts with digraphs and trigraphs. With this, if you are very thorough, then we can slowly start with the long vowel sound and short vowel sound. For what is a short vowel sound? Can you, if you just see the words A, E, I, O, U. A means a short vowel words and, as, after. E, pen, hen, lead. I, it, in, pit. O, top, hop, sob. U, under, cup, cut. All these comes for short vowel. When it comes to long vowel, A, long vowel A, make, take. E, beat, feet. I, tie, lie. O, coat, toe. U, music, cute. O, double O. Double O is the sixth vowel. It's a long vowel. So go, moon, droop, soon. All these are called as long vowel. So when it comes to long vowel sound, there are 6 sounds. When it comes to short vowel sound, there are only 5 sounds. So long vowel and short vowel, if you put together, it comes 11 sounds. And what are the remaining? Actually, I told you there are 19 vowel sounds. In that 19 vowel sounds, 5 are short vowel sound and 6 are long vowel sound. Now you know the short vowel sound and long vowel sound. So the 3 diphthongs, 2 are oo sounds, 3 are R control sounds, and 25 consonant sounds. We will look in tomorrow's and the next coming classes. Okay, teachers? So I think this will be enough for today. Just I want you all to be unmuted. How was the class? Was it very confusing, teachers? ரொம்ப கன்ஃபியூசிங்கா இருந்ததா? எப்படி டீச் பண்ண போறோம் இது எல்லாத்தையும் குழந்தைங்களுக்குன்னு? நீங்க இந்த சாங் ரொம்ப கான்சனன்ட், வவல், லாங் சவுண்டு, ஷார்ட் சவுண்டுன்னு போட்டு கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா டீச் பண்றது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். நீங்க குழந்தைங்களுக்கு டீச் பண்ண போறது சவுண்ட்ஸ் மட்டும்தான், ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஆனா இதெல்லாம் உங்களுடைய பெனிஃபிட்டுக்காக நான் சொல்லி கொடுத்தேன். You know something, you should know to the depth, isn't it, teacher? அதாவது உங்களை கொஸ்டின் பண்ணா நீங்க half filled pot-ஆ இருக்க கூடாது, full pot-ஆ இருக்கணும். I've taught you. First class-ஆ இருக்கவே கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப confusing-ஆ இருக்கும், ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். For 1 hour, if you're going to sit at home, revise what all I taught, definitely it is going to be very easy for you. Now I want you all to ask doubts or share. இது பாசிபிளா டு டேக் போனிக்ஸ் டு த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்? எல்கேஜில உங்களால சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா பண்ணிட முடியுமா? ஃபுல்லா இதுல எக்யூப் ஆகணும்னா உங்களுக்கு என்ன வேணும், என்ன தேவை? ஐ வாண்ட் யூ டு டிஸ்கஸ் அண்ட் ஆஸ்க் மீ த டவுட்ஸ். உமாதேவி சொல்லுங்க.
எஸ் மேம். மேம் இந்த சவுண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் எங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் அனுப்புனீங்கன்னா நல்லா இருக்கும், எல்லா 44 சவுண்ட்ஸ். சரிமா, இப்போ நீங்க கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கோம்.
அது வந்து வீடியோவோடவே இருக்குமா? நான் அந்த வீடியோவே அனுப்புறேன் உங்களுக்கு.
ஓகே மேம். இப்போ நீங்க எல்லாம் பிராக்டீஸ் பண்ணிடுவோம் அந்த 44 சவுண்ட்ஸையும். உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா சொல்லி கொடுக்க முடியும் மேம். நாங்க தரவா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆயிக்கிறோம் இந்த லீவ்ல. இப்போ இந்த 44 சவுண்ட்ஸ் இருக்குதுன்றதே இப்போ இந்த கிளாஸ் முடிஞ்ச பிறகு ஞாபகம் வச்சிருக்கிறது எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருக்கு. ஏன்னா எல்லாருமே நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்க போனிக்ஸ்னாலே 26 சவுண்ட்ஸ் தானே. நானும் உங்களுக்கு 26 மட்டும் தான் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கேன். ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? நீங்க வரும்போதோ நம்ம நிறைய போனிக் கேம்ஸ் விளையாடணும். ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ பிளேட் வெரி வெல் லைக் சில்ட்ரன் and you all enjoyed the games. இப்போ இத 44 சவுண்ட்ஸ்னும் போது பயம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஜாஸ்தி ஆயிடுச்சு. எஸ் மேம்.
சவுண்ட்ஸே எப்படியோ ஓரளவுக்கு மெமரைஸ் பண்ணி சொல்லிட்டோம். 44 சவுண்ட்ஸ் எப்படி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த 44 சவுண்ட்ஸை டே பை டே பார்க்கலாம். இப்போ நம்ம வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல ஷார்ட் வவல் மட்டுமே நம்ம 1 hour பார்க்கலாம். It will be easy for you. அதுக்கப்புறம் 6 long vowel sound மட்டுமே அதுல வர ஒரு 300 words உடைய சவுண்டை நம்ம ஒரு தடவை ரிவைஸ் பண்ணலாம். இப்போ இந்த 26 சவுண்ட்ஸ் கூட நான் உங்களுக்கு ஏற்கனவே சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டேன். கூகுள்லயும் இருக்கு, வீடியோஸ் இருக்கு, உங்ககிட்டயோ சிடிஸ் இருக்கோ, பிடிஎஃப்லயோ நீங்க பாத்துக்கலாம். ஆனா இருந்தாலும் எல்லாத்தையும் ஒரு தடவை நான் சொன்ன ஒரே ஒரு ரீசன், when we look into the net, the pronunciation பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப ஆக்சென்ட் டிஃபரெண்டா இருக்கும். அவங்க ஒரு ஆக்சென்ட்ல சொல்லி அதை நீங்க வாயை சுழட்டி நீங்க ஒரு ஸ்டைல்ல சொல்லி அத ஒரு குழந்தை வேற மாதிரி புரிஞ்சுக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் நம்ம இந்தியன் ஸ்டைல்ல நான் வந்து சர்ச் பண்ணி வாங்கின ஒரு வீடியோ அது. சிங்கப்பூர் போயிருக்கும் போது கம்ப்ளீட் இந்தியன் டீச்சர்ஸ் இந்தியன் பண்ற ஒரு சிடி வாங்கிட்டு வந்து அதை நான் கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணி நான் வச்சிருக்கேன். ஃபுல் கம்ப்ளீட் பிக்சரைஸ்டு. I will definitely send it to you when I send textbooks of mine for this year. வெங்கடேசன் சார் கிட்ட டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்ஸ் கேட்டிருந்தாரு, கேஜிக்கு ஆர்டர் பண்ணலன்னு. டெஃபினட்டா அந்த டெக்ஸ்ட் புக் எடுத்து சாம்பிள் வித் தி சிடிஸ் will send you. ஓகே டீச்சர்ஸ், வேற என்ன டிஃபிகல்ட்டிமா இந்த போனிக் சவுண்ட்ஸ் கொண்டு போறதுக்கு குழந்தைங்களுக்கு?
மேம் நாங்க நல்ல தரவாயிட்டேன்னா கரெக்டா சொல்லி கொடுத்துருவோம்.
எனக்கு என்ன, நான் எல்லா ஸ்கூல்ஸ்லயுமே கேஜில வந்து ஓரளவுக்கு டீச்சர் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருவாங்க. ஆனா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் செகண்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் போகும்போது பாத்தீங்கன்னா திருப்பியும் டிக்டேஷன் வேர்ட்ஸ் FATHER ஃபாதர், MOTHER மதர்னு படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாங்க. 10 times ஒரு டிக்டேஷன் வேர்ட்ஸையும் படிச்சு அதை 5 times எழுதி திருப்பியும் அதே ரோட் மெத்தடுக்கு போயிடுறாங்க. அது பண்ணாங்கன்னா it is the utter waste of bringing phonics, doing a workshop, kindergarten teachers training so much. எப்படி கேஜில நம்ம இன்புட் கொடுக்கறோமோ அதே மாதிரி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செகண்ட் டீச்சர் கேரி ஓவர் பண்ணா மட்டும்தான் அது வந்து தேர்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இருந்து அந்த குழந்தை ஈஸியா சென்டென்ஸ் எழுத முடியும். இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் செகண்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் டீச்சர்ஸ் கையில தான் இருக்கு. தெரியும் கேஜி டீச்சர்ஸ் எல்லா ஸ்கூல்லயும் பண்ணிடுறாங்க. பிகாஸ் த போர்ஷன்ஸ் ஆர் வெரி லெஸ் ஃபார் கேஜி. போனிக்ஸ் ரொம்ப இன்சிஸ்ட் பண்றதுனால கண்டிப்பா அந்த 26 சவுண்ட்ஸ் நல்லா தரோ பண்ணி 3 letter வேர்ட்ஸ் பிளெண்ட் பண்ணி படிக்க நம்ம அனுப்பிச்சிடுறோம். ஆனா நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் போகும்போது பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த குழந்தை இங்கிலீஷ்ல இருக்கிற ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லெசன்லயே BED பெட்ன்னு தான் படிக்கும். பெட்ன்னு சொல்றதே கிடையாது. அந்த இங்கிலீஷ் டீச்சர்ஸ் ஆர் ஆல்சோ நாட் இன்சிஸ்டிங். அது இன்சிஸ்ட் பண்ணணும்னா அகெயின் ஃபார் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் தேர் ஷுட் பி ஒன்லி மதர் டீச்சர்ஸ் handling all the subjects instead of subject teachers. அது கொஞ்சம் நம்ம work out பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். ராணி மேம், what do you feel ராணி மேம்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் செகண்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல போனிக்ஸ் கொண்டு போறது ரொம்ப டஃப்பா இருக்குல்ல? சிலபஸ் நிறைய இருக்கவே. அப்படியே தான் குழந்தைங்க படிக்கிறாங்கல்லம்மா டிக்டேஷன் வேர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஸ்பெல்லிங். அது எப்படி ராணி மேம் கொண்டு வர முடியும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க நீங்க? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செகண்ட்ல போனிக்ஸ் தரோ பண்ணா மட்டும்தான் யூஸ்ஃபுல், செஷனே யூஸ்ஃபுல், இது ரீச் ஆகும். இப்ப எப்படி தரோ பண்ண முடியும்னு நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க? வாட் இஸ் தி ஆக்ஷன் பிளான்?
Before the prayer we will teach ma'am. After the prayer the teacher will pray ma'am.
After the prayer teach பண்ணா மட்டும் போதாதுமா. நீங்க டிக்டேஷன் வேர்ட்ஸ் எல்லா சப்ஜெக்ட்டும் எழுதி போடும்போதே நீங்க போனிக்ஸ் ஓட தான் டிக்டேஷன் வேர்ட்ஸ் டீச் பண்ணனும்.
All the teachers are cooperate ma'am. All the teachers, all the subject teachers
only not definitely correct, you are correct. So அது மாதிரி we have to plan and we have to orient all the teachers. And இதுவும் நான் சொல்றேன், நீங்க உடனே தரோவாயிட முடியாது போனிக்ஸ்ல. this needs a regular monitoring, regular input for you, regular practice and regular orientation and workshop regarding phonics for 1 year should be done. அப்ப மட்டும்தான் நீங்க நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் 6th இருப்பீங்க போனிக்ஸ். நீங்க இதெல்லாம் மனப்பாடமா அசால்ட்டா சொல்வீங்க 44 வேர்ட்ஸையும். Okay mama? Yes. Okay ma. So tomorrow we can see for the short vowel sound and long vowel sound alone we can see n number of words. After that and we can see a lesson plan for social. Okay. Okay ma.
One doubt ma'am.
சொல்லுங்க உமா தேவி.
மேம் குழந்தைகளுக்கு நம்ம ABCD சொல்லி கொடுக்கணுமா இல்ல இந்த ஃபோனிக் சவுண்ட மட்டும் சொல்லி ABCD அவங்களை எப்போ சொல்ல வைக்கணுமா?
இல்லம்மா, சைமல்டேனியஸா தானே சொல்லி கொடுக்குறோம். நோட் ஏ எழுதிடுவீங்க, ஏ சவுண்ட்ஸ் அஸ் ஆ அப்படிதான் நம்ம சொல்லி தரோம். பி சவுண்ட்ஸ் அஸ் ப, அதாவது வேர்டையும் சேர்த்து சொல்லி தரீங்க. ஏ சவுண்ட்ஸ் அஸ் ஆ as in apple, B sounds as b as in bat, sounds as k as in cat. அப்ப அந்த குழந்தைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா you are telling the sound, you are introducing the alphabet, introducing a 3-letter word, you are introducing the picture of the 3-letter word. எப்பவுமே உங்களுடைய பிளாக் போர்ட்ல கலர் சாக்ல பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா அப்படியே எழுதி போட்டுருங்க, ஒரு சைட்ல போர்டை டிவைட் பண்ணி. மார்னிங் நல்லா வாட்டரை வெட் பண்ணி சாக்ல எழுதி போட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா நீங்க கண்டினியூஸா பண்ணலாம். அது கூட டிஃபிகல்ட்டா இருக்கு, the board is small, you need the board for different purpose. Now make a banner, make a digital banner for in all the classes in the 26 sounds. Digital banner, long vowel sound, short vowel sound னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு 4-5 பேனர்ஸ் பண்ணி அதை ரோல் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கோங்க. அதை டெய்லி டீச் பண்றதுக்கு அந்த பேனரை பெருசா ஹேங் பண்ணிட்டு டீச் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே மேம்.
இது எல்லாமே நீங்க டிசைனிங் பர்சனோட உட்கார்ந்தீங்கன்னா can easily make it.
Okay. I have one more doubt. This is Meera here, ma'am.
Yes ma, tell me ma.
As a இது வந்து should be done in LKG or a pre-KG, ma'am. What do we teach pre-KG students?
Pre-KG kume it should, I don't know whether there is pre-KG there or not in Vayabri school. Here at this in play group itself ma. In play group itself, when the kids start to speak, because here in Chennai students come to play group for 1.5 years. 1.5 years to 2.5 years we have play group. 2.5 to 3.5 we have kindergarten, then LKG and UKG. So play group we start phonics. When we show apple, we never even say a sounds as an apple. Edukumbode apple. Only we teach through smartboard, we teach through flashcards. This should be, the sound should be completed in preschool. Blending LKG la pannidla, UKG varumbodhu digraphs and trigraphs. Standard போகும்போது when the teachers teach the dictation words and readings also, and the book reading பண்ணும்போது பெரிய பெரிய words வரும்போது the teacher by herself she should teach only through phonics. So automatically the reading will be so easy, but it is a very poor condition that even in Chennai only kindergarten teachers can do this. When the teachers go to first standard and second standard, most of the schools have only subject teachers. So even they could not implement. They are again becoming keen in completing the portions and syllabus and class test, and again it is becoming monotonous and mark oriented. CBSE schools they are very strong. Phonics பண்ணனும். American schools அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்கூல்ஸ்ல phonics பண்ணி அவங்கள syllabus நிறைய படிக்கலினா கூட the children are enriched with very good knowledge. இது வந்து parent sideலயும், if the teachers are thorough, they can call the parents also and they can give free workshops on Saturdays for 1 hour.
Okay.
Reach will be more when we educate the parents.
Okay, ma'am.
Then anything else? Can we close? Yes, சொல்லுங்க ma.
டைகிராஃப்ஸும் ட்ரைகிராஃப்ஸும் பத்தி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் டீச் பண்ணீங்கன்னா நல்லா இருக்கும். நாளைக்கு
நிறைய இருக்குமா. அது ஒரு அதாவது டயக்ராஃப்ஸ் மட்டுமே நம்ம ஒரு தனி கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணும். எக்கச்சக்க டயக்ராஃப்ஸ் இருக்கு. நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 10 தான் சொன்னேன். ஒண்ணுக்கு ஒரு 2 வேர்டு தான் சொன்னேன். ஒரு டயக்ராஃப் blur அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா அந்த blurக்கே அவ்வளோ வேர்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு.
அத கொஞ்சம் நல்லா தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம்னா வேர்ட்ஸ் டீச் பண்ண ஈஸியா இருக்கும்.
கண்டிப்பா ரொம்ப ஈஸியா இருக்கும். இது வந்து இன் பர்சன் நான் சொல்லி கொடுக்கும்போது இன்னும் ரீச் ஆகும். உங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு புரிஞ்சதுன்னு. நான் வரும்போதும் அதே மாதிரி நீங்க வரும்போதும் இதை இன்னும் நம்ம தரோ பண்ணலாம். within this 1 year I will make all the teachers to be the phonics. Okay ma, everything your cooperation is very much required. If you have the interest, definitely it could be, everything is possible. Okay ma. Okay, thank you teachers. Thank you sir.
Thank you ma'am.
Thank you madam. Thank you for the class.
Thank you.